set it up 7 years ago when I first had my daughter Betty. And part of the reason I did was when she was born, I kind of entered this world of fluffy hell where everything was sort of, you know, pouting pups with big eyes, and it was an extraordinarily sort of saccharine place. And I didn't quite know why it was like that, and I kind of had seen children, you know, little babies and stuff, and what interested them, and it seemed that they were interested in things like sticking their fingers in plug sockets and playing with cotton reels and bashing saucepan lids together, and, you know, having sort of cute pouting animals didn't seem to be their scene at all. So I assumed it was for my benefit, and I kind of thought, well, I don't like this stuff, so I better do something about it. So I kind of kicked off by doing just sort of fairly plain t-shirt and pant designs for Betty, and I started by selling them on Portobello Market, and it kind of went from there. I've made it quite easy for myself because I'm not a kind of textile designer, I'm an embellisher of things, because my background's some graphics. So I just have everything made plain, so t-shirts, pairs of pants, tea towels, t-shirts, things that I can then print onto, and then when the design, you know, when we think up the design, I can get the transfers made and put them on pretty much to order. So there's not kind of great piles of stock of one thing piled up in 3 garages that I can't shift. I can just sort of keep going in small quantities, and if things then become really popular, I can then get them sort of pre-made and then sold in bulk. But at least initially, that's the ways that we do it, so we can keep generating new ideas. I worked in advertising for 20 years, and I did really enjoy many things about it, the kind of, you know, group effort and the process of making films and everything else. It was a very sort of privileged life, really. But the thing you come to realise is that the nearer you are to the creative idea, the absolute least power you have over it. And I just became too soul-destroyed, really, by it being the decision of the chairman's wife or a focus group in Cheam that decided whether or not anything I made ever happened. And so the one thing that I absolutely love about having my own company is that nobody but me decides whether or not it's going to go out. And the thing we're bringing out now are these little, I don't know if you can see this, but these little arrows, these little pointy arrows. So every time you get a stain or a hole or whatever else, you just stick a bloody great arrow pointing to it. So suddenly it becomes something you want, you know, you want people to notice as opposed to something you feel ashamed of. I've kind of got 5 criteria really that I've come to rely on as sort of what I then test each thought against. The products need to be original, they need to be practical, they need to be funny, they need to be beautiful, and they need to be affordable. And if they can do all those things, then usually it works pretty well. And I think the best sort of products I do are ones which genuinely do answer a practical problem in a way that is original and funny. So for instance, the moth patches that we make, because everyone gets moth holes, there's a, you know, moth infiltration at the moment, we all hate the damn things, but rather than kind of squirting them with sprays and leaving things in drawers, our idea was just to come up with lovely little patches of the moths, which you just iron straight over the moth holes, and that way the moths end up designing your clothes for you, and it makes it look really pretty. Here we are, here's an example. Pretty. Without Booth and other kind of online help, I wouldn't probably have a business, because, you know, my website generates a certain amount of money, but, you know, it's so useful having other sites out there that sell the stuff and also do PR for it and give support and help in, you know, so many ways. I mean, as anyone that's got their own little business, you are already split in 30 different directions, doing 30 jobs that you didn't know how to do in the first place. So anything that, you know, like BOF that come along and help with all that kind of side of things is really, really useful.